The recently released trailer for the Summer I Turned Pretty Season 3 Episode 7 has left fans buzzing with excitement, concern, and plenty of emotional speculation. Episode 6 brought several key developments that deepen the central love triangle between Belly, Conrad, and Jeremiah, and Episode 7 looks set to push those tensions to their emotional limits. This time, the focus seems to be shifting toward Conrad's inner struggles, Jeremiah's changing personality, and Belly's mounting doubts about her future. From the trailer and early promotional material, it's clear that this episode will be an inflection point, one where characters are forced to confront not only their feelings, but also the long-term implications of their choices. Let's break down what we can expect. One of the most talked-about moments from the Episode 7 trailer is the subtle but telling portrayal of Conrad's inability, or unwillingness, to fully express his feelings to Belly. This isn't new for longtime fans of the series. Conrad has always been more reserved, guarded, and cautious when it comes to matters of the heart. But in this episode, that emotional hesitancy takes on a sharper edge. His withdrawal isn't simply about fear of rejection or confusion about his own emotions. Instead, it seems to be tied to what many are calling the Big Brother syndrome, a tendency to prioritize Jeremiah's happiness over his own, even at the cost of his personal fulfillment. Conrad, as the older brother, appears to feel a deep sense of responsibility for Jeremiah's emotional well-being, leading him to step back from pursuing Belly even when he still harbors strong feelings for her. The trailer offers glimpses of Conrad watching Belly and Jeremiah from a distance, his face a mixture of longing and resignation. These visual cues reinforce the idea that he is holding himself back not because he has moved on, but because he believes doing so is the right thing for his brother. Early in the series, many viewers and characters within the story drew parallels between Conrad and his father, especially in terms of demeanor, seriousness, and a tendency to keep emotions bottled up. However, Episode 6 began to challenge that perception, showing signs that Jeremiah, not Conrad, is beginning to mirror their father in more significant ways. This is a subtle but important shift in the family dynamics. Jeremiah has always been seen as the lighter, more carefree, and emotionally open brother. Yet as the wedding planning has intensified, his focus has started to shift toward practicalities, appearances, and business-like efficiency, traits that echo their father's more calculated and strategic approach to life. The trailer for Episode 7 continues this theme, hinting at moments where Jeremiah's demeanor becomes more rigid, less spontaneous, and more focused on control. For Belly, who has always valued Jeremiah's warmth and easygoing nature, this change is unsettling. It's not just that Jeremiah is acting differently, it's that he's starting to embody characteristics that Belly associates with the more problematic aspects of the family's past. Despite everything that has happened, despite the moments where Conrad hurt her, distanced himself, or failed to communicate, Belly continues to hold on to her feelings for him. Episode 7 seems poised to explore this emotional undercurrent more deeply. The trailer includes brief but powerful scenes where Belly is caught in moments of quiet reflection, her mind clearly drifting toward Conrad. Whether it's a glance across the room or a flashback to a more tender moment between them, it's clear that Conrad's presence in her life is something she can't easily let go of. This emotional tether is complicated further by the fact that she is currently engaged to Jeremiah. Belly's commitment to moving forward with Jeremiah doesn't erase the unresolved feelings she has for Conrad, it just forces her to bury them deeper. But as anyone who has watched this story unfold knows, buried emotions have a way of resurfacing, especially when tensions are high. Perhaps the most significant source of conflict in Episode 7 will be Jeremiah's evolving attitude toward the wedding. While Belly may have envisioned a celebration centered on love, intimacy, and personal meaning, Jeremiah's approach appears increasingly focused on logistics, appearances, and the business side of planning. From selecting vendors to negotiating costs and making scheduling decisions, Jeremiah's practical side has taken the lead, and while this might seem responsible on the surface, it's starting to clash with Belly's emotional expectations for the big day. The trailer hints at several tense exchanges between Belly and Jeremiah, where her disappointment and unease are palpable. This isn't just about minor disagreements over flowers or seating arrangements. It's about a fundamental mismatch in priorities. Belly is beginning to realize that Jeremiah's vision for the wedding, and perhaps even for their future, may not align with hers. By the end of episode 6, cracks were already beginning to show in Belly's confidence about the wedding. Episode 7 looks set to deepen those doubts, as she struggles to reconcile her lingering feelings for Conrad with the reality of marrying Jeremiah. Jeremiah's increasingly pragmatic approach to the wedding only exacerbates these concerns. Belly finds herself wondering, is this the man she fell in love with, or is he becoming someone else entirely? And if he is changing, what does that mean for their life together after the wedding? The trailer captures this internal conflict through a mix of dialogue and visual storytelling. Belly's forced smiles, moments where she seems distracted or preoccupied, and lingering shots of her looking at Conrad with an expression that's equal parts longing and sadness. Ironically, Conrad's refusal to openly compete for Belly's affection may be the very thing that pushes her toward reevaluating her choices. By stepping back and letting Jeremiah take center stage, Conrad creates a vacuum in which Belly is forced to confront her own feelings without external pressure. The emotional weight of Conrad's quiet presence looms large in the trailer. Even when he isn't speaking, his body language, hands in pockets, eyes downcast, standing on the edges of group conversations, communicates volumes. For Belly, these moments are a reminder of the depth and complexity of their connection and of everything they've been through together. If the trailer is any indication, episode 6 will be a turning point for the season. The love triangle that has defined much of the series will reach a new level of complexity, with each character facing choices that could alter their relationships forever. Belly must decide whether her doubts about Jeremiah and her enduring feelings for Conrad are serious enough to act on. Jeremiah must confront whether his focus on control and appearances is serving his relationship or slowly eroding it. Conrad must grapple with the cost of his self-imposed emotional exile, and whether stepping aside for Jeremiah is truly the right thing to do. With 4 episodes left after this one, there's still plenty of room for the narrative to twist and turn. But episode 7 appears to be where the emotional groundwork for the season's climax will be laid. The seeds of doubt, longing, and rivalry planted here are likely to bear fruit in the final episodes, potentially leading to heartbreak, reconciliation, or both. Whether you're rooting for Belly and Conrad, Belly and Jeremiah, or simply for Belly to find happiness on her own terms, Episode 7 promises to deliver the kind of emotional intensity and layered character work that has made The Summer I Turned Pretty such a phenomenon. One thing is certain, when the credits roll on Episode 7, nothing in the love triangle will feel quite the same again. What do you guys think about this subject? I welcome your thoughts in the comments. For more such videos, you can subscribe to our channel, turn on notifications, and like our video. See you again, goodbye.